There is so much to unpack from All-Star Weekend this weekend. And to be honest, for the first time in a very long time, I've got a lot more positive things to say as opposed to negative ones. Because this weekend, in my personal opinion, was actually really good viewing. Like, I didn't have a bad time watching any of the events in the All-Star game and the All-Star weekend this year. Like, I had a really good time. First of all, before we get underway with all the All-Star stuff, because that is the theme of today's video, I will be talking about the All-Star, everything that went on, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I want to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. Like, 100. Are we kidding me right now? Like, when I first started this, a few months ago, I went back and I watched my first ever video that I ever made a couple of years ago. And like, I was just a quiet young person sitting in a room, in a corner of a room, in front of a microphone. And I was basically just blabbering everything. Like, I was kind of like over the microphone and I was talking a bit like this. There was no energy to it. And I had no idea where it was going. It was just a passion piece. I was just, every time I had the chance or I had a bit of extra time in my life to get on and make a video, I would do exactly that. But nowadays, like, with you guys actually starting to interact with the channel and enjoy some of my content and enjoy, you know, listening to me sit in front of a microphone and talk about basketball, it has brought my energy levels up so much and it makes me want to do this so much more. And I thank you guys so much. Like, the short form content has been a big development in the history of the page. Like, before I started doing the short form content, there was sort of bits and bobs back and forth. People were enjoying it here and there. But I think, especially with today's media and how everything is going, short form content is the way of the future. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And I have benefited so much for getting into the short form content because you guys have loved it. You've been able to interact with it and just be able to listen to my voice. Maybe it's a bit better listening to my voice for 1 minute as opposed to 20. But I want to thank you guys so much. Like, triple digits is just, on any YouTube page, is an achievement in itself. Like, a lot of people make YouTube channels and it just completely disappears like that. You're like, 2 videos are made and that's it. I'm trying my absolute best with everything going on in my life to continue to be positive and continue to grow with this channel and continue it on. And you guys are actually starting to enjoy it, get involved. I don't want to go too much into it. We've got a lot of All-Star stuff to talk about, but I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you guys. This is only just the start. I'm going to continue to build the content. I'm going to continue to try and get better. You guys continue to interact with it would be amazing. Like, you guys don't owe anything to me. And for you guys to show that love and support to me, for better or for worse, is just amazing. Like, and I thank you guys so much, every single one of you. Like, triple digits to me is just insane. It really is. I have nothing else to say. It's just insane. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the actual meat and beans and the actual reason why you guys are here. All-Star Weekend 2026. To be completely honest, all in all, amazing. I actually enjoyed watching it this year. Maybe because I was on a holiday and I was watching it on holidays. But, you know, these things happen. There was a lot of good things to watch. The only thing that I actually missed out on this year was the All-Star Celebrity Game. For some reason, it felt like all of the events in Australia started really early this year. Like, the All-Star Celebrity Game started at 8 a.m. this year for Australians. And I was under the impression that it was like a 10 a.m. start and I could, wake up and get myself organised to go and watch it. But then by the time I turned it on, it was 3/4 time and the Rising Stars was about to start. So I didn't worry too much about the celebrity game this year. I think from what I've seen in a lot of social medias and stuff, I bet the only thing I missed was Shams being on his phone on the bench and Giannis hating on Shams, which has just been a side story that I never thought I'd see. And yeah, I don't think I really missed a lot from that event, to be completely honest. So I did miss that event. The Rising Stars Challenge was unreal. Watching, former Hall of Famers go, 3 Hall of Famers and Austin Rivers. I don't know where they plucked Austin Rivers from, but there was 4 coaches. They were all, past players of the sport. They had a great time. Like, all of them bring a lot of energy into the event, which is something that we really need from, All-Star Weekend as a whole is something where everybody needs to get together and everybody needs to make it happen. Like, All-Star Weekend isn't amazing if not everybody's getting involved. Whether it's announcers, former players, Hall of Famers, All-Star coaches, all the players, just everybody getting involved. It makes it so much better to watch and it makes it so much more entertaining. The Rising Stars was no different this year. Like, VJ Edgecombe was ridiculous. He showed why he was the 3rd overall pick in this draft. Like, he was far and away the best player on the entire court. Like, so much so that even if they lost that championship game, I reckoned he'd deserve the MVP. Because VJ Edgecombe was just scoring. And in an event that only went to 25 points, you can only do so much scoring. I think he had like 14 points out of the 25 in that championship game, which is just ridiculous. Provided they are 8-man rosters and VJ, barely ever saw the bench for the entire 2 games. But it was worth it. Like, he was box office viewing. He made everything view it, like dunking the ball, breaking out, getting on fast breaks, shooting the ball at a high clip. So many things good to say about VJ Edgecombe. Not only that, but all of the Rising Stars looked like they were enjoying their time. And I think that is another one of the biggest things. Like, all the Rising Stars always get together. They always have lots of fun because they're all in the same position. They're all trying to take that next step. And getting announced as a Rising Star and getting put into this event is a huge step in the right direction for any of those players. So I'm glad that they brought the energy this year. It was so much fun to watch. All-Star Saturday night is the next one, and that is usually, for the last few years, apart from All-Star Sunday, which we'll get into in a moment, Saturday night, for me, I liked it. The 3-point contest was the best part of the night. Damian Lillard putting on an absolute clinic on one knee was just ridiculous. And he just did not look like missing. Like, Devin Booker, Concanipple. I feel bad for Concanipple, man. Like, that first round, I thought he was in with a genuine chance. Putting up 27 points as a rookie in a 3-point shootout, your first ever time participating, ridiculous. He got to the finals and flunked it. I think he finished with a score of about 15, which, if you know anything about the 3-point contest, 15 ain't going to get the job done. Which I feel really bad for him because Con looked comfortable in that first round, and then he got to the second round, and I think after he missed a few shots, he really just got out of his zone, and there wasn't any saving him after that. Devin Booker, I think, went into this event as the favourite, rightfully so. He's got one of the most pure-looking jump shots I think I've ever seen out of anyone, aside from Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson still has the best jump shot ever, and I'll die on that hill, but anyway. Devin Booker was rightfully so. He was healthy. He always shoots the ball at a high clip. He's consistent. And then Damian Lillard came out of nowhere on one knee, who hasn't played any sort of competitive basketball in the last 8 months behind tearing his Achilles, and just made them look like a bunch of little kids. Provided Devin Booker had a chance to win it right at the end of the event and missed his last 3 money balls. But Damian Lillard looked like the best shooter in that event. Hands down. Like, we call him Dame Time, Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar. One of the best shooters in the entire league. He showed that today. And it didn't look like he skipped a beat this entire season, even though he's not played a single minute. Ridiculous. The middle of the 3 events was the Shooting Stars event, I think they called it. It was weird. Like, it was all right, don't get me wrong. Like, it wasn't too bad. Like, it was nice having the legends participate and having old Hall of Famers actually participate in the All-Star Weekend. Like, it was great. But, I don't know. It just looked like a glorified warm-up shooting drill. And that was the one spot which I think I would change if I was to ever do anything about it. Because, to be completely honest, I missed watching the Skills Challenge. That was just me. Like, the Skills Challenge had a bit of everything, and I think that was one of the better parts about the Skills Challenge. Like, if we integrated the Skills Challenge with the Legends, I genuinely think I would love that. Because I just think shooting from 7 different spots on the court, like, I know they did it a few years ago, where it was like shots from different places where all-time jump shots or hook shots were made in big-time NBA games. Like, there was actually something behind it. Whereas the Shooting Stars event this year just felt like, you know, a bunch of guys running to different spots on the floor taking jump shots. The most exciting part of it was when they got to the 7th one and they just started throwing heaves. And Team New York comfortably came out with the win. They were heavy favourites going into the challenge, and rightfully so. Karl Anthony Towns is a shooter, Jalen Brunson's a shooter, and Corey Brewer was a shooter back when he was in the league. Like, there wasn't really much more to it. It wasn't really a competition. Like, everyone was running for second. But yeah, that was sort of the dampener, I think. It was definitely like a good time to go and get a drink, get some food, if you were, you know, tuning into the event. But to me, it just didn't really do a lot for me. I wasn't really overly entertained for it. However, the dunk contest. I've seen a lot of stuff on the timeline saying that the dunk contest was trash and everybody hated it. I'll go on the record and say I didn't mind it. I will. I actually enjoyed it. Provided Keyshawn Johnson spent the whole time dancing. Yeah. It was Jace Richardson spent half his time hitting his head on the floor. That was really nasty. Like, that wasn't very good. Jackson Hayes threw down the most boring NBA dunk contest dunk I think I've ever seen. It was a one-handed dunk. That was it. There was nothing to it. Like, I was watching it with a couple of my guys and I looked at him, I was like, am I missing something? Because it was just a one-handed dunk. Like, I think he was going for something more than that, but then he got caught up midair and couldn't actually pull off what he wanted to. But aside from that, like, I actually enjoyed it. The atmosphere was there. They created a good atmosphere. The player introductions were a bit strange and was something I'd never seen before, but it was actually enjoyable. I liked it. I enjoyed it. We had at least 150 dunk. A couple of the dunks they threw down were actually really nice dunks. Carter Bryant should have won it. He came so close, but he just blew it away right at the end. Couldn't finish his last dunk. But I actually enjoyed it. And provided, like, a lot of the hate that I've seen is because there is no star power in the dunk contest anymore. And I understand that. Like, it would be nice to see Anthony Edwards or your Zion Williamsons or your Ja Morants or these sort of guys in the dunk contest. But at the same time, like, a lot of these smaller guys, it is a great time for them to actually become known in the community. Like, there is not a lot of people that watch enough basketball to sit in front of a Miami Heat screen and watch Keyshawn Johnson dunk the ball. So it is a great time for him to actually get in the limelight, see what he's all about, and people might actually get interested in his game after seeing something like that. And I think that's the biggest part for me, is like, that is such a great way to build a brand for a smaller NBA player. And I'm not a hater at the fact that, you know, if they're a good dunker, get them in the dunk contest. That's it. I don't think there's anything more to it for me. Like, if you're a good dunker, you can be in the dunk contest. I don't care who you are, what you do for a living. If you can dunk the basketball, you can be in the dunk contest. And that's it. That's all I've got for it. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't, but you guys let me know what you thought about it, because I really enjoyed it. I actually did. And then last but not least, Sunday night. Or in my case, Monday morning. So, you know, it sort of goes back and forth, the time zones and whatever. It's a bit all over the place. And once again, the All-Star game started as I was waking up, which, not ideal by any means of the imagination. Not even having enough time to, you know, get up and get prepared and get in front of the TV. None of that. It was on as soon as I woke up. So I did miss slight parts of it. But for the most part, like, from what I watched, it looked like a proper basketball game. And that was the biggest thing that we have been hounding about as fans for the last 10 years. Is that we just wanted a basketball game that actually looked like a basketball game. And thanks to Victor Wembanyama, we got that. So I think a lot of the league is actually very in debt to Victor Wembanyama and everything that he's done. Because he came out on the floor and was like, I ain't taking any prisoners, I ain't having fun, I'm scoring the basketball and I am winning basketball games. Provided Team World went 0-2, but not the point. But yeah, Victor fired up, which got Anthony Edwards, the All-Star Game MVP, fired up, and everyone else got involved, and the older players, the unks, run out of gas, and KD was on his phone worried about whatever was going on in KD's life. Check the short out, I spoke about it there. It just, like, craziness. Like, it was so refreshing. And I think they've nearly cracked the code. Like, I'm not a massive fan of the 3 teams thing still. Like, the round robin idea was actually a really decent one. But the more you get guys like Victor Wembanyama who actually care and actually want to play in these games, the better. And it only takes a couple of them. That's it. Like, it takes a couple of people, and that's all you need to fire this All-Star game up and get it back to where it was. So we'll see. We'll see if Adam Silver leaves it and gives us the same construct, and we go with the same thing again this next year, because it actually worked. Which I wouldn't hate this same idea. But the thing with me was, having Karl Anthony Towns and Norman Powell on Team World when they're actually American, that was the only thing for me, is that you are tunneling yourself to have X amount of USA players and X amount of world players because of this selection process. Like, that was the whole reason Kawhi Leonard went in. Provided Kawhi Leonard went into their second game and dropped 30 in 12 minutes. But the whole reason Kawhi was there was to fit in the numbers. And that is, one of the biggest talking points with that idea, I think, is like, you don't want to limit yourself to the people you can and can't pick for an all-star team based on where they're from. So that's the one pick me that I have for it. Shout out to the young guys of the USA. I think they were the Stars. Yeah, they were. the USA Stars for bringing home the dub. Anthony Edwards bringing home the MVP, as I said. Like, they just killed the other USA team in the final. Just killed them. At no point was a competitive game. But yeah, it was good to watch. It was fun to watch. The All-Star game is heading in the right direction, and I love to see it. Anyway, that's about it. I've spoken for way too long now. I hope you guys have made it this far. If you have made it this far and would consider liking and subscribing, that would be incredible. It would be amazing. And I thank you guys all so much in advance if you even consider doing so. I'm not stopping at 100. I'm going to keep going. Like, it's only the beginning for me. I apologize for the lack of content over the last week. Like, I feel really bad because I actually hit 100 subs a week ago, and because I was on holidays, I actually couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't make a video about it. So I am sorry for that. But yeah, I better late than never, and thank you guys so much. Hope you guys continue to enjoy the content. It's only going to continue to flow. I will see you guys in the next few days when there's actually basketball back. I think out of all the times to take a break, All-Star Weekend probably was the best time because there was barely any basketball on. Basketball last week was a bit, touch and go, but there was a lot of players resting due to the build-up to the All-Star break. So real basketball is back in a few days, which means I'll be back too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the hoops, enjoy the couple of days break of not having to watch so much of it, if you're anything like me. And I will see you guys in the next coming days. I'll continue with short form and that. And yeah, I will continue. You'll continue to see my face. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys again soon. Thank you guys.